Hi everyone, it's Nancy. I'm back today to show you the second way to use these gift card envelopes that I have in my shop. I had mentioned in the video I made last week that I had wanted to show you 3 different ways that you could use them. The first one was the journal, which was last week's video. And this week's video is to show you how to make it into a little accordion folder or concertina folder, where you open it up and there's like 2 little pockets that expand. And these would be great to slip in a journal and to put little pieces of ephemera in each pocket for the person that you're selling or giving the journal to. It's also something you could use as a gift to or happy mail to somebody, and you could slip little handmade items in the pockets or whatever you can think of to send in your happy mail or to give as your gift. So that's what I'm going to show you how to make today. So we're going to set this aside. There's 2 ways we can make them. I'm going to show you one way, and then I'm just going to briefly show you the second way. So what you're going to need is a few pieces of pattern paper to cut the front, the back, the middle, and the 2 sides. And then you're gonna need, I put tabs on 2 of the pockets or 2 of the dividers, and I use these tabs which I sell in my store. These are the mini tabs that I have in my store, or you can cut your own. And then of course you're going to need one of these envelopes. So let me grab my scoreboard and let me see if I can get this in frame just right so it's not too crooked. You're gonna take, let me give you the measurements first. I wrote them. The front piece is gonna be 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. That's the front of the folder. And then you're gonna need 2 pieces, which are the middle and the back, and those are gonna measure 2 1/4 and 3 7/8. And on the middle piece, you want to trim the side just slightly, so when you stick it in the folder, it doesn't get caught on the sides. It gives you a little wiggle room to work with. And then you're gonna need the sides, which measure, you're going to need 2 pieces, which are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, so to score the sides, you just take the scoreboard and you take your piece and put it up into the corner and score every 1/4 inch across the whole piece. So this is what I do. Sometimes it's really hard for me to reach those last 2 score marks in the corner. So I work from the outside towards the side. And then when I get to that point, I turn it around and then just do 2 more score marks at 1/4 inch. Okay, so let me do this one real quick. Every 1/4 inch. And if you have a paper that's directional, it just make sure that your score lines go in the same direction as your pattern on your paper. And then what you're gonna do is starting with the pattern side, you're going to take the first fold and fold it inward, okay, towards the inside of the folder. Let me show you. Like on this one, you're gonna fold in first. Fold this pattern side that's gonna show on the outside. You're gonna fold that in first, and then you just burnish as you go along and make a valley fold, a mountain fold, and fold, valley fold, mountain fold until you reach the end, following your score lines. So I just want to make sure I get, yep. Let me move this out of the way. And I'll probably speed up the video at this point so you don't have to watch me make all these folds. So now you've got your two sides folded. Looks like, yep, got your two sides folded. Okay, and then you take your front piece and bring the scoreboard back. I should have done this before, while I was scoring the other sides, and then you're gonna score the front piece at the bottom. So if you have a directional paper like this one, just make sure it's the bottom where you're scoring. And you're gonna turn it the short side at the top of your scoreboard, and you're gonna score at 2 1/4 and 2 3/8. And what that does is it forms a little box fold right here, a little gusset, so that when you fold that over the bottom of your concertina folder, it's gonna give you some space for these sides, which when they're pushed together, they equal about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so now the next part is just gluing the pieces together. But before I do that, I found that it was easier to put the tabs on the pieces first before I put them together. And I put a tab on the front piece and this middle piece. So first of all, I'm going to trim my middle piece slightly. Okay, so that's about 1/16 of an inch or so. All right, get my glue and put the first one on. And I put the first one on the far left, okay, leaving a little bit of room for to glue your side on. And then let me just readjust that just a little bit. Okay. And then this one, second one goes on the middle piece. And put that one to the far right, leaving a little bit of room for the sides of the folder. Make sure I have it straight. More glue. it off. Make this one to stick down all the way. Okay, so we have our tabs on. That's our middle piece, that's our back piece, and our side pieces. So you take your side piece, and with this pattern side facing towards you, you just glue it. Put some glue on it. Ugh, I keep getting out of frame, sorry. And then line it up from top to bottom and along that fold line. Okay, make sure it's adhered well before you put your back piece on. Okay, you can open that bottom part up, makes it easier. Okay, now you're going to take your back piece and glue that on. Lining it up. Okay. I'll let that stick before I push it down. And then you do the other side. Making sure you've got this turned around right. Okay, so now you have your front and your back on. And all you have to do with the middle piece is run some glue down this side, each side, and you're going to stand your folder up and you're going to stick it in and slide it in. And I'll show you in a minute where you put it in terms of the folds. Just had to make sure I had the right one. Then press down. Okay, let me get a little pointer here. If you can see that, what I did, where I put it was, you have a valley fold and a valley fold here, and you're gonna glue it on the other side of that valley fold. Okay? Then I glued the bottom. Now, I only put glue right below the bottom score line. Not anywhere above the bottom score line. Okay. And then I folded it up. And you have your little concertina folder. And then you bring in your envelope. Let me put the glue on, or my pin in my glue. You bring in your folder or your envelope, and you fold up all the sides. Okay, and then you place your folder inside, and you're gonna make sure that the tabs are pointing up towards this opening for the closure. That's the direction it goes in. And also, you want to make sure that the bottom is about 1/8 of an inch above the fold line, this fold line on the envelope. Oops, so I'm going to take my glue line it up side to side and along the bottom. And your tabs should clear that fold, which they do. So if you make your own tabs, make sure that they're, you know, cut low enough that they don't interfere with this fold at the top here. Okay, and you fold in your sides, and you have your little gift card with a little folder inside. Now I'm going to show you how to score the piece where the front is all, the front and the sides are all one piece. I'm going to bring my scoreboard back, and I'm also going to give you the measurements too. So this is the front piece, and that measures 2 7/8 by 7 7/8. And then of course your middle and your back are the same as the first folder that we made. They measure 2 1/4 by 3 7/8. And I trimmed down my middle piece, as you can see, about, you know, a 1/16 of an inch. So to score the front, you line up the long side along the top of your scoreboard. And what I do, since this falls on a 1/16 of an inch mark, I move it over to the 8-inch mark. And I score every 1/4 of an inch from that 8 inward until I get to the 6-inch mark. So essentially you're scoring every 1/4 of an inch, and that equals 2 inches. Then I flip it around and I do the same thing. Every 1/4 of an inch till you get to the 6-inch mark. Okay, so the sides are scored. Then I turn it around. Now if you have a piece that's directional, you want to make sure you're scoring the bottom of it, not the top. Okay, I flip it around, put the short side up to the top, and I measure in 2 1/4 inch. I score all the way down, and then 2 3/8 of an inch, and score all the way down. Okay. Then you need to cut your corners out. And to do that, you cut along your 2 1/4 inch score mark up to the last score mark going that direction, and flip it around and cut up to cut the corner out. And I'll do the same on this side. Cut along that score line and right along that score line. Then when you go to fold your accordion sides, you want to start by folding it in to the inside of the pocket or the divider, both sides. That's how you start it, and then from there you do your accordion folds. Okay. Okay, so you have your side, both sides folded in accordion style. Then you construct, you build it, or you put it together. Can't find the right word there. The same way that you did the same way that we did the other one. You put your back on, okay? Make sure you put your tabs on first. Put your back on, and then slip your middle piece in the middle. Same way. And then once those are together, you fold up the bottom. And that's basically the difference. So I hope you understood that. If you have any questions, just ask them in, down below in the comment section. And I'll be back hopefully next week with the next video, which is the third way to alter this little envelope. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.